The front door slammed so hard the whole house shook. Margaret burst into her own backyard, heart pounding like a drum in her chest. "What the hell happened here?" she screamed, her voice cracking with pure rage. Glass crunched under her sneakers. Her beautiful patio doors, the ones she had saved for 2 years to install, were now a jagged mess of shards. Flower beds that took her every weekend to perfect? Trampled flat. Her prized rose bushes snapped like toothpicks. And there, right in the middle of the destruction, stood Karen, her neighbor from 3 houses down, arms folded like she owned the damn neighborhood. Karen's 2 kids, a boy and a girl no older than 8, were running wild around the broken swing set, laughing like nothing had happened. One of them was still holding the baseball bat that had clearly done most of the damage. Margaret's breath came in short, angry gasps. The smell of crushed flowers and fresh dirt filled her nose. She could hear her own pulse thundering in her ears. "Karen, you left your kids unsupervised in my yard? Again?" Karen flipped her blonde hair and gave that signature eye roll. "Oh please, Margaret. They're just kids. Kids play. It's not like I told them to break your stupid stuff. Relax." Relax? Margaret felt her blood boil so hot she could barely see straight. Relax. Look at this mess. My patio doors are destroyed. My garden is ruined. That ceramic gnome my late mother gave me, smashed to pieces. Do you have any idea how much this is going to cost? One of Karen's kids kicked another chunk of glass across the patio. The sharp tinkling sound made Margaret flinch. Karen shrugged, completely unbothered. "Well, accidents happen. Maybe you shouldn't have left your yard so accessible." Says, "I was only gone for like 20 minutes. I had to run to Target real quick." 20 minutes? Margaret's voice rose into a near shriek. "You left 2 little kids completely alone next to an open gate for 20 minutes while you went shopping? Are you out of your mind?" The little boy picked up a rock and hurled it at what remained of the wooden fence. Crack. Another piece of Margaret's property damaged.
That was it.
Margaret pulled out her phone with shaking hands. "I'm calling the police. And my lawyer." Karen's smug face finally cracked. "You're seriously overreacting. It's just property. Insurance will cover it." "Good. You're such a Karen yourself right now." The irony hit Margaret like a slap. She almost laughed through her fury. "Me? I'm the Karen? You left your unsupervised children to vandalize my home and you're calling me the entitled one? Wow." She hit record on her phone and started filming. "For the record, Karen left her kids alone in my backyard. They destroyed my patio doors, my garden, and my mother's memorial gnome. I have video of the damage and witnesses who saw your kids running around without any adult supervision." Karen's eyes widened. "You can't film me. Delete that." "Watch me," Margaret said coldly. By the time the police arrived, Karen was still trying to argue her way out of it. "Officer, this is ridiculous. My kids were just playing. She's blowing this way out of proportion." The officer looked around at the destruction, then at the 2 small children still running amok. "Ma'am, did you leave these children unsupervised on someone else's property?" Karen stammered. "Well, I mean only for a little bit." That little bit turned into a very big problem. The police report was filed. Child Protective Services got involved because of the repeated unsupervised incidents. This wasn't the first time Karen had pulled this stunt in the neighborhood. Margaret's insurance claim went through, but she also sued Karen personally for the damages that insurance wouldn't fully cover, the sentimental value of the gnome, the labor to restore the garden, and the cost of the high-end patio doors. Karen tried to fight it in small claims court. She showed up with her usual entitled attitude, demanding the judge understand that kids will be kids and that Margaret was overreacting like a typical neighborhood busybody. The judge wasn't impressed, especially when Margaret played the video evidence. Especially when 3 other neighbors came forward to testify that Karen had left her kids unsupervised multiple times before, once almost causing a car accident when they ran into the street. The final ruling hit Karen like a freight train. She was ordered to pay Margaret $8,400 in damages. On top of that, the court mandated parenting classes and 6 months of supervised visitation checks by CPS. Her smug mask finally shattered in the courtroom when the judge looked her straight in the eyes and said, "Leaving young children unsupervised is not kids being kids, ma'am. It's negligence. And negligence has consequences." Karen walked out of the courthouse pale and silent for once in her life. No more snarky comebacks. No more eye rolls. Just the bitter taste of accountability. Months later, Margaret stood in her beautifully restored backyard. New patio doors gleamed in the sunlight. Fresh roses climbed the trellis. A new ceramic gnome, a little different, but just as special, sat proudly on the patio. She took a deep breath, smelling the sweet scent of blooming flowers instead of crushed petals. She exhaled slowly, satisfied smile crossing her face. Sometimes the universe has a way of serving justice with perfect timing. Karen learned the hard way that entitlement has an expiration date, and that other people's patience isn't infinite. Margaret raised her coffee mug toward the fence that once bore the scars of that chaotic afternoon. "Here's to boundaries," she whispered, "and to never letting a Karen think the rules don't apply to her." The kids next door? They were finally playing under actual supervision. And the neighborhood? It was a little quieter, a little safer, a little more respectful. Because one woman refused to stay silent when her home and her peace were destroyed. And that, my friends, is how you turn property damage into a powerful lesson in accountability.